Okay, I think we are live. Let's go. Episode number 37. Today, let's play a game. Whenever you felt that you want to achieve something big, but you were not allowed the permission. Maybe you wanted to go to space, live in Mars. Maybe you wanted to set up your own planet on Saturn or Jupiter. Maybe you wanted to relocate to the moon, live in a space station for a year. You wanted to become an engineer and fix making houses the easiest possible. Maybe you wanted to build the greatest company that takes care of job creations like never before. Whatever it is, today, let's grant ourselves the permission to just open our hearts and souls out. Can we do that? When I was in my final year, I'm talking about 2019. I just finished that year. And although that was the one year when I kind of completely cut off from everything, although I was in a relationship, but I made sure that I did not bunk even a single day of college. The studies was not as good as I would have ideally wanted it to be, but the the logic of putting in the time and the attention towards creating my own future, I just felt that it's always best if I can just give my heart and soul into it. All right. So, what I wanted to do was create a system which makes it easy for us to have income as the forefront. Income as in just one moment. Income as the forefront. And I wanted to become a public speaker. Now, here's what I observed all the way, whether I was in school, whether I was in college, every single way, every single place, the same thing happens. There are professionals who are invited to come and share their thoughts, their knowledge, their insights, their perspectives about certain things about life. How have they become successful? What are the things that they did different? And every single time, whenever any such guest speakers would come in, I would just stay seated, spellbound. It's like they took that entire wand and casted a spell on us where we felt so inspired. It happened in school, St. Paul's Mission School, Akash Institute. They would do this on every alternative year. So I still remember the first year when I was in Akash, that time they invited someone, I think his name was Remo Fernando, something like that was his name. Then they invited Kapil Dev. The next year they invited VVS Lakshman to come and just give their speech. It was so power packed. Now I went into YouTube and all, and I started searching who are those speakers, who are those legends who are able to create a complete dynasty when it comes to public speaking. And I got blown away. $20,000 for a 90-minute keynote speech, $50,000 for a one-to-one consultation, $10,000 just to get the name attached to the brand. And here I was, got into the whole hamster wheel, thinking that, oh, I spent around 20-25 lakhs for a degree that I'm never even going to use. That got me thinking. Today's episode is where I thought, let's just decode all of those possible income streams. Now, whether it is possible to for me to achieve them or not, I will not even get to it right now, because all we need to do is in the logic of personal development and personal growth, it says that when you decide a goal, you set the intention, and if your intention is pure, the why behind the goal, the purpose behind the goal is strong enough, then the universe will conspire itself to make it happen. So today's purpose, the purpose of today's video is to see what are the things that are there in front of us and how can we tap into all of those opportunities, also to find out whether anyone in this planet have been able to achieve this or not. Fair enough? Is that a good deal to work towards for today's episode? So again, you are not allowed to think small ever. While I was reading this book by Simon Squibb, What's Your Dream, the first and biggest thing that he mentioned is, what is it? What's your dream? What is it that you want to solve? What is the big problem that you would want to solve in the world? What is the reason for your birth? Now, the moment you keep time and money, your present problems in front of you, you'll never be able to go beyond that barrier. So for a moment, let's take that license, okay? Let's, you and I right now, make that promise. For the next couple of minutes when we are together, we are going to literally consider ourselves to be billionaires. Okay, you literally have 1 billion US dollars in your bank account. Like right now, you can access it. Okay, let's just get into that state first. How do you get into that state? We are not, we might be rich, we might not be rich, doesn't really matter, but can we feel rich? Can we feel that joy? Can we feel that, oh my god, I have so much of money with me right now, I have all the money all the time, everything, every single thing is perfect, every single thing is with me right now? Can we just get into that state? Can we get into that energetically? Okay, now keeping that state in mind, now what I will be doing is unraveling elements from my journal which I feel are the potential income streams that can come in. And these are income streams as a public speaker. So the very, very first income stream that, and for this, because I have my journal entries, uh, earlier this year, Yogeshwari gave me a very interesting task. She told me, you have to compile uh, in an Excel sheet your idea dump. As in, every single day, whatever ideas that you're getting, you need to put it into that Excel sheet. So towards the start of the year, we tried a lot of different productivity hacks, only to realize at the end of the year that going live is the greatest thing that we can do, because that's when we are showing up to the world. Okay. So I'm going to take up snippets from that idea dump. And today's episode, we have to give a huge credit and shout out to Yogeshwari, because if she didn't guide me with this, today's episode wouldn't have existed. Okay. So while I was creating, what are the possible revenue streams that I can have as a speaker? Now, for those of you who know that the name of the company, which I formulated when I was there in my hostel, it's called Sun's Den. Sun is, of course, Surya, the sun. And right now, because we have this beautiful background also, I'm literally feeling like I'm standing on stage and I'm delivering this as a crazy talk. And you all are seated in the audience, right? This is the background of the stage, and you all are seated in the audience, and we are literally doing this together. So, Sun's Den means Surya. Den is literally the cave where we are building things. We are building in things in such a manner we're going to kickstart into, take it all the way to the next level. So if that is the situation that we want to create, the first revenue stream, of course, growing up from childhood, I always felt that education is something that needs a humongous shape shifting. There are only 2 or 3 teachers whom I genuinely remember who have helped me learn new things, has inspired me to become a better version of myself. One is Mr. Bobby Baxter, my second standard class teacher in the year 2003. And then there was Piali ma'am, Piali Chakraborty. She is my Bengali teacher from my 7th standard. Yeah, she was the teacher of my 7th standard. And then again, from our 9th standard to 12th standard, she was our Bengali teacher. And then Dr. Samuel Robinson Massey. He was our English teacher in 11th and 12th. These were the only 3 teachers whose names I can recall at this present moment. They've inspired me left, right, and center. To this day, they keep inspiring me. Now, when I look at them and the kind of life that they have created for themselves, it's crazy how big of a role communication has played. how big of a role speaking has played. Because one step at a time, what happens is, because they know how to speak well, they are able to create multiple streams of income through their teaching, through their tuitions. And then I've also known certain teachers. In fact, I'll take a very interesting example. Alak Pandey sir. He didn't even finish his college. If you watched his TV series, the only way I know his story is through his TV series. He created a YouTube channel named Physics Wala. And today, just a couple of weeks back, I think they've launched their IPO as well in the Bombay Stock Exchange. Just with the power of speaking, with the power of education. So while growing up, I always used to feel, I wish education was more entertaining, only to realize that there were these little opportunities that I got blessed with. Let's just say my brother's birthday party, or we used to stay with a very dangerous witch cousin, witch aunt. They made our lives completely miserable. I mean, it's it was horrible what the kind of mindset or whatever it is that they've had. But there were these birthday parties that would happen in our house, or we were invited to. All I needed was just a stage and a mic and a group of people. Ideas would formulate, and I would just create a get together and make everything interesting, where we would learn things out of fun. Could be quiz contest, antakshari contest, dumb charades, different games. And through that, at the end of that entire party or whatever, that little episode, whatever we used to call it as a fun segment, people would walk up to me and they were like, my God, you're so young, and yet you have put all the children together, help them learn something. It's crazy how effective turned out to be. And for my life, I always try to see how can I make education more and more entertaining. So growing up, I always used to feel, oh my God, if I become a teacher, and that's what I wanted to do. I went into Maulana Azad College. I took a botany honors because I wanted to really learn about biology and become a proper biology teacher in middle school or senior school, however it is. That was my objective. And again, I pretty much had the same plan like Physics Wala. So I'll start a YouTube channel. I'll make a lot of videos. I'll have my tuition classes. I'll have my coaching institute. All of these things was what was my dream before. Then I went into dentistry, and the same dream just transitioned into, oh, dentistry, because there were no such big teachers when it comes to dentistry. Either they were too boring, they were not too interesting, it was far too difficult, the subjects were way too difficult to understand, textbooks were difficult, and all I needed was time to actually invest and learn that entire thing and grow. But of course, for whatever reasons, things just moved on and COVID happened, all of those things. But then I got introduced into public speaking, stories which I've shared in previously as well. As I started exploring public speaking, I got to know that there are these different groups, LinkedIn, Facebook. I have to really fix my voice sooner or later. Okay, let's get back. So there are these different LinkedIn groups, Facebook groups where people are conducting events online, retreats, summits, in-person events. And then if you break the entire calendar down, let's start from the school. Every school has an orientation day, which is the first day of school. And then they have different events throughout the school calendar. They have a pre-summer vacation. So last day before summer vacation, before the exams, unit test, final test, graduation day, prize day, elocution day, different events as per the festivals. Every school has that. When you go to college, there is a beginning of a year, mid semester, seminars, you have graduation, You have, what's that called? Convocation. This is what happens in the college. Then you look at corporates, orientation day, learning, learning segment, and then on the job training, on the floor training, mid year upgrade sessions that goes on. And then you have farewell days, promotion days, appraisal days, all of those things that comes in, fund fill days, a lot of such things happen. So if this is what happens all across the globe, there are certain experts who are invited just to come and speak, and they get paid. When I started doing research, that's when I figured out, okay, look at the income opportunities here. Now, what I was telling you so far is just the story, as in how, when I started out thinking about myself or this whole life that I wanted to create, where does it look? Where does it go? Where does it look like? But now let's dive a little deeper and just detangle all the mess and look at all the possibilities. The fact that I'm making this particular video, it is me practicing my public speaking skills, me sharing my stories, me sharing my thoughts, perspectives, beliefs, every single thing out there in public, in the open, irrespective of how many people that are going to see. Maybe right now in single digits, at some point of time, I know every single video is going to clock 1 million, if not more. That's the bare minimum. Pretty confident about it. Even more because I enjoy watching my own videos. I enjoy learning from me with the way I organize thoughts and put it across. If the stuff that I'm sharing right now, the very first revenue stream that can unlock is through the power of content. Whether it's these long form videos, the videos can be turned into blogs, newsletters, everything that I shared in the last episode. The content itself can kickstart giving money. Now, how does the money work? Or honestly, I still don't have any idea. All I know is in YouTube, there's something called as monetization, which you can turn on the monetization. Ads will be run in your channel, and that way the earning happens. The same way, if your blogs are pretty good enough, then if you turn on the Google ad revenue, Google will start running ads in your website because the website has a lot of traffic coming in. The more people will click on ads, and as they click more on ads, you will start getting a revenue. There are brands who would want to collaborate and would want me to talk about them for a certain segment within the video, or just have some form of a segment within the video where I talk about their brand or promote them in whatsoever way, and they will give me a fee. There's also these little options where I can give certain links. Let's just say the mic that I use, or the laptop that I'm using, the camera that I'm using, links below in the description. People will click and they will purchase that, and if they purchase that, I get a certain commission out of it. So there are different formats of earning income through content from the platforms directly, and then there are indirect ways as well. Now, through the content, people will obviously explore me. And if they explore me, if they feel like, oh, Suryadeep really is very energetic, the way he shares is amazing, we would like to have him in our corporate school, college, whatsoever. Let's fly him down, give him a topic, let him come and just take it off and really deliver something world class that everyone can remember. That's content. And that's why content, I'll tell you honestly speaking, I'm not a very big fan of content. All the more why over the last 7 years, if you go through all my social media platforms, even now, you will see that every single day I'm only going live on YouTube and LinkedIn. That's it. My Instagram is old. Facebook, I don't make too many changes. Twitter, I don't even use, although I just have an account. Snapchat and all those other platforms that are there, I haven't even opened my account. Forget about creating content, because I don't understand and it's too overwhelming for me. I get scared. But what if I kickstart doing so? Now that I'm doing this daily live, what am I able to just repurpose and spend some time? Maybe an hour a day on each of those platforms. How is that going to change? Obviously, over a period of time, it's going to compound, isn't it? So that's the first one. The second one will be through intellectual assets. What do I mean by that? By the way, we are dividing this whole possible income streams into two parts. One is B2C, which is business to customer. Now, or you can also consider brand to customer. In this way, I am thinking of myself as a brand. You look at Tony Robbins, Mind Valley, Toastmasters, the brightest minds on the planet put together and turned younger, a 30-year-old version. That's when you get Suryadeep Mazumdar. Okay, so I'm boasting a bit. It might sound so, but it's just out of the enormous amount of efforts I put in to create these video pieces and to make it as simple as possible. So brand to customer, that's where the content. So content directly it's being consumed. Now, the second thing is these intellectual assets. So let's just say in this video, I'm talking about what are the different possible options in which the income streams that we can kickstart as a public speaker. Now, what if I'm able to create a document that gives some form of a guide, a one-page guide, cheat sheet, a 10-page, 15-page ebook, a proper detailed slide presentation deck, maybe a mini course, how to get your first presentation, how to prepare the first 15 minutes of your presentation, how to find stories that you can use effortlessly in any presentation whenever you give it, however personal or professional it might be. Now, all these are different intellectual assets. As and when I'm creating more and more, I can start giving it to people. They will get it in my website in exchange of their name and email ID. What will I do with their name and email ID? I will make sure that people are getting more and more value from me through those intellectual pieces. And as and when they're getting a lot of free value, what if I'm able to turn that as a paid option also? Let's just say I sell a 9 rupee ebook or a 99 rupee 2-day boot camp with me or a 199. It could be, again, just think of anything. So the way that I have planned it so far is that we will be having ebooks, we will be having mini courses, micro courses on Udemy at the cost of less than a pizza. We will also be having a small little membership in our community where people can access a bunch of initial set of courses with respect to their public speaking skills, which will be updated over there itself. We have a newsletter through which we will be helping these people out one step at a time. Now, when all these things get created in a synchronized manner, then that itself can create an income, isn't it? That's the second part. Now, the third will be through the different sales channels. So let's just say there are people who are enjoying the content that I'm delivering. And they're like, Suryadeep, I want your help in helping me prepare for an interview. Now, I guide them step by step over a one-to-one call. Step by step, I'm training them how to become good at interview. Now, I can charge for that time. Okay. What if I'm able to teach that same over a webinar where all of us are together over Zoom and I'm literally guiding you step by step, making you do it, helping you learn that. And again, I'm charging a very, very nominal fee for that. If I have enough people, let's just say I'm able to fill in a room of 1,000 people. 1,000 people are paying me 51 rupees to spend 3 hours with me over a webinar where I'm going to teach them communication skills in such a manner where you will get at least your first presentation ready and you will present it also. Okay, so the fact that people will give me 51 rupees, 1,000 people, that's what? 51,000. Again, we are not looking at the limitations here at all. At this present moment, I know that my YouTube videos at the time when I'm doing this live is single digit, and that's absolutely fine for me. I'm talking about the compounding effect. Okay, so that's another option. There could also be consulting calls, companies inviting me to train their companies on communication skills, or multiple groups of people reaching out to me, Suryadeep, we would like to learn communication skills for you only for our batch. Can you do that? Again, the sales channels are open. The fourth would be these immersive memberships. So if people enjoy spending time with me, what if I'm able to create a community where we get together? It could be an online community also, in-person community also, depends on, again, the pricing and all those things can be taken care of. Online, we are meeting maybe once in a week, twice in a week, and we are just practicing. Whatever we are learning through the lives or the micro courses or whatever, we are practicing within the community within that short period of time. And in that process, we are growing. Now, I can start charging people for those memberships. The membership levels can also increase. Initially, you learn public speaking. Later, maybe you want to learn how to do such lives on all by yourself at the comfort of your home. Or you might also want to learn something very specific, like how am I able to set up such amazing background, such amazing lighting, speak such confidently without any script in such a manner where I'm able to repurpose that entire piece into multiple different content pieces. Now, all these things are stuff that can be learned, that can be taught, and that can be a source of income as well. Now, moving further, there are these different membership levels that I spoke about. Again, I don't want to get into the depths of it right now, but you can simply talk about how every single thing gets together in a membership. So, what we are planning to build or have been working on for quite a long time right now, it's all getting into process one step at a time. In the next 6 months is about working on it properly. So, we'll have courses, we'll have, okay, wait, I'll go, I'll just put out all those words, okay? A lot of C words here. Courses, which will be released and people can consume it whenever they want. Community, where they can talk to each other. Certifications, every course will come with its own certificate. We are trying to build and establish certain credentials. I'm still working on how to ensure that we have international standard certification for every single thing that I ever create. Okay. Challenge, if you want to learn public speaking, you have to speak and let that be a challenge. Okay. Celebration in the form of different awards that we can create. Okay. Then there is cohort, which we keep telling you, we want to work with only 10 people, handhold them 30 days. Okay. And then there is contest. Every month, the community members will do contests amongst themselves, and that's it. Okay. So all of these things gets together. And of course, we will also be including collaborations as well. So if one particular person wants to invite their friends and family, all those things, we are open for it. Now, all these things just gets added as a part of a membership. Now, what I have observed is, let's take, okay, I will give you the examples one by one for all the categories that we have discovered so far. If we look at someone who has crushed it in the content game, the people that I'm able to remember is right now Ankur Warikoo, Matt Gray. These are the people, the two people that immediately is coming in my mind. Okay. Even Tony Robbins also. Okay. Then when you look at the next level that I spoke about, which is sales, I am reminded of Matt Lakajev, Jasmine Alec, Justin Welsh from LinkedIn. Found them over LinkedIn, and they're crushing it in sales. When I talk about memberships, there are two different forms of memberships. One is who have their recurring subscriptions, and the people that I can think of is Jay Shetty, Jishan Lakhiani through Mindvalley, and then Brendan Bouchard, uh, Mike Tilbury. I found them over YouTube. And what they do is they have a subscription based model, which means you have to pay a monthly fee to get access to every single thing that they create. But then when I come to India, Siddharth Rajshekhar is someone who has just revolutionized the entire process by creating lifetime memberships. where you pay a single fee and you never have to pay anything, and it just continues to, you continue to get all the benefits and improvements that keeps coming in. Now, along with Siddharth Rajshekar, there are these other coaches under him also who've been creating that same kind of pattern itself. What I would like to create is like a blend of both, depending on the need of people. Again, I don't want to get into the specifics because honestly haven't yet thought that deep so far, but I'm just giving you examples. Now, again, but there is recurring memberships and lifetime memberships as well. Okay. Now, the fifth form of revenue that we can create is through coaching calls. So the coaching calls, when you are good at something, obviously you get to teach that to others. So I can do 2-day events, 3-day events, weekly inner circle calls, which we will be starting very, very soon with all our students. All the systems needs to be in place. But the fact that I can use that skill, the skill of communication to and public speaking, to help more and more people by spending more and more time with them. And of course, this is a big one, which is community events. So community events, it's all about where people will come together who want to spend more time with me, with Yogeshwari. We will probably book a banquet hall or fix some kind of a retreat setup. Again, it could be small scale, it could be large scale, but we can literally meet and then have that whole experience where I'll be speaking on stage. That's also possible. And finally, this is also another very interesting one that I found out, which is called as club memberships. So club memberships could be automated as well, automated or delegated. So to give you a certain example, let's just say I love reading books, self-help books. So if I create a self-help club, that can be a subscription-based model as a part of the service. Or I enjoy watching Manchester United games, football and cricket. So we can have a cricket club where people can get together and we can discuss about cricket and turn that out to be another a revenue stream. For example, my brother and I were running a podcast series called as the SM Show, where we talk about movies, cricket, football, whatnot. Even stuff like different areas of life, right? So learning courses together. So immersing together, maybe group of friends going to group of community members going to a nice resort and sitting together and just immersing in through a proper curriculum or a content piece or a course. Now these are different clubs, which obviously it might need my involvement to begin with, but then later that can be automated through the club members itself. Again, are you able to see the how branched out this one little skill of public speaking can lead to? Now, this is about B2C. Now we'll come to B2B, which is brand to brand or business to business offerings. So the very first thing that comes in my mind will be the keynote speeches. I can get invited in schools, colleges, corporates, startups, just to come and share my knowledge. Okay, let me cover up the examples, which I forgot to do so. So when it comes to lifetime immersive memberships, I've already mentioned Siddharth Rajshekar and his top students. And then there is recurring memberships, Brendan Bouchard, Jasmine Alec, and all these people. Okay, even in the lifetime membership also, I think I can add Justin Welsh as well. He really is crushing it in LinkedIn. When it comes to coaching calls, so coaching calls, there is this uh, Matt Lakajev is one. Again, I'm not that big of a fan of multiple people, I'll tell you very honestly. Coaching calls, I'm a very big fan of Tony Robbins' structure. So he runs his live in-person seminars, which are literally way too high priced, at least from an Indian context. So, but he's completely aced the game where that has become a big revenue stream for him as well. Now that's something that we would obviously like to create, but probably cut down on the price so that we can serve more and more people. Community events, the same thing. I think in India, I recently attended an event by this man named Sneh Desai. Was truly world class. If 2,600 people, there were only around 11 people to just give you a high five while you were entering the hall. So it's really, really crazy. And the way he structured it is really, really good. So that was a 3-day event, and he runs multiple such events. That's really something to go deep and learn and implement as well. When we talk about club memberships, honestly, I think Mind Valley would be the name that's coming in my mind right now. The way they have integrated things together. I will not say that it's too good, because before they had all their publics, the groups in Facebook, but now they've integrated everything within the app. The app features, honestly, it's not that appealing. They talk about meeting members and all those club meetups and all those things, but really doesn't happen. I think Jay Shetty does a very, very good job in this as well. The different club memberships, there are meditation geeks and hiking, lot of these little things that comes in. So that's one aspect. When it comes to B2B, the yeah, keynote speeches, I think hands down Ankur Warikoo. I really love how I think in one of the recent episodes with Raj Shamani, he mentioned he charges 9 lakhs for a speech. And again, he has his own flagship prices. So it's a non-negotiable price. So to get to that level, I mean, that's obviously the goal right now, that and beyond. The next thing that obviously is there in my mind is creating a digital agency. A digital agency is what puts all of these things, the different forms of communication and speaking together in different formats, and puts it out for a particular brand. So let's just say a brand wants to talk about, for me, public speaking and communication. So creating blogs out of it, carousels, social media content, all of those things in a very, very strategic manner so that the brand can grow. Now, that is something that I'm really, really passionate about. It's a little technical. It requires a lot more attention to be given. Something over the last 7 years, I don't really recall having the patience to actually sit down and work on it. All the more why I'm taking these little lives, because I'm learning and I'm implementing, and I'm also creating that base for me, which I can test it out. And again, this is a skill which involves doing and then learning. So, for example, right now, at this point of recording, if my videos are going in single digits, there are certain things that I'm probably not doing right, which I need to fix. Once I fix that, I'll start getting the results. So it's more of doing, failing, learning, improving, feedback, growth, keep changing the approach. That's the process that digital agency is all about. Of course, there are some crazy brands. I mean, I am honestly not too familiar with a digital agency, because I did try working with a few and it was not that good at all. So I will not be taking any names as such in this. I don't want to take any names with whom I haven't worked or haven't seen their work. So that wouldn't be fair at all. But there are such agencies. Again, how do I trust the agency is based on the initial result that they can give me. If they think about me and think of it as a win-win position, then it becomes far easy to trust the agency. The next one will be obviously the workshops, trainings. Literally, let's just say we have our Speak to Lead live cohort, and a company is inviting us to deliver that cohort to them at their expense. So we have the entire material which we will be delivering it to them. So creating such hardcore workshops and boot camps, material that we can go and deliver and get the results from people. That's also something that we're supremely interested about. A couple of big major companies that have been doing it. You look at all these big. Honestly, I'm not too familiar with the names yet, because I haven't done that deep level of research yet. But there are certain learning and development companies which takes care of all of these things. So whenever I do the research, maybe then I'll be able to share. Okay, the next one is affiliate marketing, which is promoting different products that we use. So affiliate marketing is when you, as a public speaker, you are speaking about the products that you use, and people get inspired to use the products. And when they do so, the people will not have to pay anything extra. However, you will get a certain commission from the payment that they have made, which will be delivered to you. It happens at a very subtle level. If I think Ankur Warikoo mentions it beautifully, that affiliate marketing income is completely given for charity, and that's such an amazing initiative to look about, to think about. Now, it is something that I haven't yet cracked through. I did try Amazon affiliates at times, but I think you really need a proper structure in order to put it all together. I'm yet to figure out. Once I do, I'll definitely be sharing the same. The final three will include partnerships with students and corporates. So, for example, let's just say this, the best example I have is Alex Hormozy. So, what he does is he his main company work right now, acquisition.com, is who they work with companies who are earning more than $500,000 a year, and they take them to 5 million or 50 million in exchange of a portion of their company as equity. So that's a strategic partnership in which both are growing. Their mentorship is helping the company grow, and when they exit, then based on the valuation, they are able to uh, sell that certain portion of that company, and that's it. That overall valuation, because they own a certain part of the company, continues to increase. Something that is obviously works better because it's only through your public speaking and communication skills that you'll be able to eventually help them. Now, that's also something long term in mind. Okay. Micro consultations, which is agency owners, founders, coaches, trainers, CEOs. So specific uh, leader across every company, and creating resources, trainings, materials to craft that entire thing for the companies. So, for example, over the last 7 years, I started out as a sales executive. My recent role was the head of sales. So over a period of time, I moved from sales executive to a content manager to learning and development to coaching to digital strategizing, digital freelancing, conducting sessions, to again the head of sales, head of training and development. So these were the different roles that I have been a part of. Now, as I have experienced all of these things, even right now, the fact that Yogeshwari and I are working on Sun's Den, we have to play multiple roles as and when it's needed, because we are like a literally a brand new startup with just two people put together. So I have to switch between head of training and development to head of sales, to marketing, to strategizing, to tech ops, to content creation, to maybe copywriter. All these different roles that are there. So if I'm able to compile all those learnings and create assets which companies can use later, that is a pretty big income stream also. And finally, the retainer clients. So if I do a good job with schools, colleges, founders, CEOs, startups, corporates, then they would like to have me on a payroll where they will pay me every single year to come and deliver. And that is where things become interesting, where you are, yes, you are giving your active time, but that active time, the amount of money that is generated from that active time is so much more. And because you're slowly building assets which compounds over a period of time, the amount of money that continues to increase. The other day, now why am I sharing all these things to you right now? Because this is where I stepped in, thinking that I will be able to achieve it within a short period of time. 2019, 2025 is going to end. 7 years. Okay. And I've just started. Action is the only thing that goes forward. However, this is me showing you the brighter picture. Now let me guide you through the challenges that has happened. The first, you need money for your basic survival. So when you look at some of the most successful people on the planet, you have to understand that they have either worked very, very hard, or they paid a lot of money to learn, implement, invest, or they've had the right support system. You remember I told you about the public speaking community that I was a part of? There are only 10 or 15 people who made it big. And out of those 10 and 15 people, majority of them either had their other half, their better half, having a stable income so that they can take these risks, or they had enough savings that they can take some time off and work towards it, or they struggled so much and now they're getting the results. Until and unless your financial stability is not there, something that takes care of your food, clothing, shelter, the basic EMI loans, whatever it is, you'll never even be in that creative zone to start working on this. Second, we get so occupied with the learning aspect of it that we fail to understand the step-by-step process to implement. We are overloaded with the shiny object syndrome, different people pitching us different things through ads. We also don't realize when we fall prey into them. We dive into it, we commit, but then we do not take the necessary actions. All the more why at this point of time, kind of shoved out everything in my learning segment, and I'm just taking things one step at a time. That's it. One step, one community, one skill, one stream of income, one product, one cohort, 10 students. That's it. Number three, I'm not sure how many communities you are a part of, but whenever I get into a community, I realize that there are certain people I resonate with, there are certain people I don't. But then the community itself has a vibe, has a vibration, has a proper code of honor, way they talk, the way they connect with each other. Most cases, again, there are two kinds of people in Israel. I'm reminded of this poem called The Road Not Taken. So a lot of people will, most of us are like, we want to stay with the herd mentality. We'll do every single thing that everyone else is doing. There are one or two such people who decide to separate themselves from the herd, and they like to put a question mark on everything that happens. Now I fall into the second category, which means I am more of a lone wolf. Lone wolf as in, I do not believe in faith. I will experience something. Based on my experience, what are my learnings? I will create my faith out of it. So if I join a community, I will follow whatever is being told. But if I do not get the results, then there's something wrong with the community. That's my universal approach. That was what it was before. Now it is, okay, what are the gaps? And what are the things I need to do to plug those gaps? That's what I found out. And again, implement that in my community as well. Again, doing all of these things alone is very difficult. It can be lonely, it can be depressive, it can be anxious, it can be crazy doing all these things alone. All the more why Yogeshwari and I make such a perfect pair, because she compliments me when I'm down. I compliment her when she is down. And we kind of complement each other's skills as well whenever we are getting a step back for whatever reasons. The next, the final and the most important point here is the missing piece in this whole journey is consistency. Over the 7 years, this is the one biggest thing that I have learned, which to this day, I will not say haunts me, because when you want to beat yourself up, oh my God, I should have read books every single day, 30 minutes, and I should have finished what 54 books by this year, 7 years, 54 into 7 is what, 8 to what, more than 378 books I would have finished by now. What are you doing, Suryadeep and all? This is what I was doing. It's only when you start implementing and you maintain consistency on it and add the improvement on it, that's when you hit financial freedom. It happens the exact same thing with respect to let's just say mutual funds, until and unless you step up your investment, you will not really be able to see that that corpus. If you're making videos every day and if you're not making any changes, if you're not making any upgrades, you will not really get to see those results. If you're not able to sit down and identify what is wrong and go back to the drawing board and correct those things, you will not be able to see the growth. And if you're not patient enough, it makes it very, very difficult. Now, these are the challenges that I am facing. All the more why I am sharing it straight away. So, what do you do in this case? Here's what I am doing. Irrespective of how many people are watching, I want to continue going live every single day to see where it goes. The power of consistency. The same time, I want to learn and I want to start working on one piece of this puzzle at a time in such a manner where if I'm able to crack this through, then I'll be able to crack this through as many times as possible. There was a show that I watched. It's called a 100-Day Billionaire, in which in 100 days, uh, there were these billionaires. They were stripped off of their name. They were given just a car, $100, and they were moved to a completely new city, no contacts, nothing at all. They have to become a billionaire within 100 days. I think there were 2 seasons of this. Now, just watching that show itself and the steps that they're taking, the things that they're doing, that itself opened the doors of the possibilities. This episode number 37, was just me unraveling those possibilities for me. And if I'm able to do it, obviously I will be teaching you the same. In the coaching and training world, I've realized that there are two very big gaps. One, people are teaching you things which they haven't done themselves. So if there's a book author coach, they don't have a Think and Grow Rich or a 5 a.m. club kind of a book. They'll tell you that they're an international best-selling author, but they don't have an international best-selling book. Same thing for public speaking. They'll tell you that I will teach you how to build an entire brand around yourself as a public speaker. But when you try to find out their brand, you'll find it difficult to find. Okay. And then so that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is people who've made it really big, the Tony Robbins of the world, the Ankur Warikoo of the world. Either they don't share everything step by step, phase by phase, or they are far too expensive for our reach. And that's where, when I was doing my own preparatory work for building all these things, that is the problem that I would like to solve, that bridge that gap. Every single thing that I'm thinking, doing, is what I'm sharing, again, through the content, and then how to do it in those micro courses, just so that any of you who are more interested in staying in touch with me would be more than happy to know that, okay, if I'm giving this much absolutely for free, what would I be giving if you decide to pay your money? What I always believe is, if I pay someone, I would like to get 10 times of that back. If someone decides to pay me money, it's my responsibility to give back 10 times minimum, ideally 100 times. So with that, may all these income streams become true for you as well. And let's do this together. How long is it going to take? I have no idea. But I'm at this point of time in my life where I really don't care anymore. I'm done being scared. I'm done thinking too much. I'm done crying, complaining, venting out. It's all about taking those initial steps one step at a time and then witnessing the journey as it moves forward. The backup plan of getting a job and all of those things, it's always there, but that's not something that I would like to really go about. I'd like to see where this journey is going to go and at the same time share all the learnings with you. With that, this is Dr. Suryadeep. Uh, Today I was late. The logic is to be consistent and let's start taking that responsibility also from the upcoming day. See you 8:30 tomorrow live with episode 38.